Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the 10-Minute Marvel Podcast. Last week we talked about the Doomsday theories that we found on our Reddit, and this week I spent a little time coming up with not one, not two, but three ideas for the Doomsday plot because I'm an overachiever.
I feel like this is where I just need to enter in and say, it's Greg, everybody, the podcast underachiever, because I thought of none, as I was not assigned any, but if I was, I still would have only thought of half of one. It'd have been a half-baked idea to Peder's three. So here we are. Thanks for coming back. Get ready for some fun, I guess, fan theories. And
Yeah.
yeah, we'll call it that. And if you're looking for ways to support us, you can find us on our YouTube channel. Search 10 Minute Marvel there. Give us a like and thumb smash it, that subscribe button. Find and follow us on Facebook and that other thing with an X, hashtag 10min Marvel there. That's hashtag 10min Marvel. And of course, you can leave a rating and review wherever you get your friendly neighborhood podcasts from. And Peder, you overachieving lovely man, you, what are we going to do first today? Is it going to be news or rumors, or is it just going to be lies?
I mean,
Let's just do straight up lies.
straight up lies.
Yep.
Yeah, we have seen the first 5 minutes of Avengers Doomsday, and it is absolutely wild. I could not believe it when Jar Jar Binks showed up on the Enterprise and said, "Beam me up, Doctor Who."
It's crossover city in that first like 10, 15 minutes. Crazy, everybody. It's
Hmm.
crazy. Yep.
Well, aren't you
I
pleased with how quickly I could come up with that lie?
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. And a podcast. All right.
Hmm.
Good time, everybody. Thanks for coming back.
Hmm. And with that, Greg, which one do you want to do first?
Oh, of course. I want to do news first.
Okay, I'm in a nice giving mood today, and I want to give myself the pleasure of saying, Greg, we're going to do rumors first.
As expected.
So, first one from James Mackwell that the Eternals are going to be showing back up, at least some of the characters in Secret Wars. Greg is
James,
speechless.
I am speechless. So I heard something and my family just came home. So that's what I heard. And then right as you were speaking. Okay, James Mackwell. Say it again. What's he doing?
So James Mackwell, the scooper, says that the Eternals are going to be showing up in Secret Wars.
This sounds like more of your lies, Better.
This
Or
is a
James's
rumor.
lies. Yeah.
If there's a spot to bring back a character or two, like Cersei and Arishem, let's say those two characters are the ones who come back for this, sure. Like it's a big universal, multiversal event sort of thing. I could see those characters coming back, but I don't expect to get the full lineup of Eternals again.
Oh no, not the full on lineup. That would be ridiculous. Uh I'm just who was left on Earth in the Eternals?
Um,
That's what I'm thinking
Kingo
would okay. I could see
and
that. I could see
Sprite
that. Hmm.
and Faustus,
I
I
don't
think.
honestly, I don't even think I know their names. So
So the Tinkerer guy,
Tinker, I know who Sprite is.
yeah,
And then I know who Kingo is. So
yeah, and Tinkerer guy is the other one
okay.
because it's Drugan, Ajax, Makari, and
The speedster's on the still there, isn't she?
on the no, she's on the
Oh,
spaceship,
she's on the spaceship.
and I think there's one more on the spaceship that I'm forgetting, but I can't
Isn't
remember who. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I don't know. Either way, uh, we should probably watch that movie. I think, like we said, I should watch
mhm,
that movie because I'm totally forgetting all the characters. I could see the ones that are left behind showing up.
yes,
Um, I'd also like to see,
especially Kingo. I think
yeah, uh, yes, I think that actor,
Kumail
yes,
Nanjiani.
yeah. I could definitely see him showing back up. The character who did play the speedster, I want to say Icarus. That's
Makari,
Makari.
Laura or
Dern.
Lauren. I forget her
Lauren.
last name though.
That's okay. Either way, they owe her some more screen time, so she should show back up. But um,
Lauren Ridloff,
okay, yeah, she was really cut out of that
phenomenal.
movie.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I could maybe see that happening. I mean, who's not going to show up in this movie? But
I know we're cast for it, so.
right, I mean, I'm just a rock, but I'll take it.
Hmm. Odd thing is, I'm a person, but I have fewer speaking lines than you do.
I, I'm just actually the knee of the thing. I'm just that rock. That's just me.
You squeak a couple times.
So, yeah,
Make some
uh,
grinding noises.
like I do have more speaking parts, so it would make sense that it'd squeak. I have to do
Hmm.
something.
Yeah. Um, Couple for Doomsday from Daniel RPK. First one being that Loki's going to have a smaller role in Doomsday.
Were we expecting him to have a larger role?
I mean, I think certainly there probably are some theories around that. I didn't assume he was going to have a big role in this film because he's mainly going to be sitting in a chair holding the timelines together.
That's kind of how I pictured it. I thought it was going to be, I guess, a short sequence with him.
Hmm.
Maybe him and Doom, maybe
Yes.
him and Thor at some point. I don't know, but not much more than that.
Yep.
Kind of a pocket, part of the story.
Yeah. I would say something maybe that even that's like towards the end of the story, which could set up more for Loki going into Secret Wars if he plays a more important role, maybe in that. But
Mhm.
the other one is that Kate Bishop, Cassie Lang, and Kamala Khan are going to share the screen together, have a scene together in Avengers Doomsday.
Makes sense. Got to put those young
Currently,
Avengers together, champions.
yeah, champions. I mean, none of them have been officially announced for the film,
Yeah,
correct?
like,
Yeah, none of none of them were chairs.
yeah, but come on. I mean,
Yeah,
how could you
it
not?
it seems it seems plausible for sure, I would say. Um,
What's their role, you think? Like, where?
that's a good question because it feels like it should be setting up champions, but you don't set anything up besides Secret Wars in this film.
Right. Are they? That's a tough question. I gotta have to kind of really think more about from what we know, where do they kind of fall into place at this point to
Hmm.
help out? What's their
Like,
helping role?
yeah. Well, and currently in the MCU, Cassie is on the West Coast, Kamala and Kate are on the East Coast. So,
Well, according to Daredevil, Born Again,
mhm.
Kamala is on the West Coast, is she not? I think that's what her dad said.
Oh, maybe that was what he said.
I think she's on the West Coast. So, um,
Yeah, then sure, that makes more
mm,
sense. If she went out there, especially like if she went out there to visit Bruno or something like
right.
that. Time has passed. She should be graduating or graduated high school at this
Hopefully she can
point.
drive. Yeah.
Well, Uber exists for a reason.
Waymos. They're all over the place over there.
So those were the couple Doomsday ones. An interesting one that popped up. No source on this one, so take it with a grain of salt. But X-Men to begin filming in the UK later this year.
That's exciting.
Hmm. We haven't heard much in the way of like any, especially recently, any casting rumors.
They're gonna have
So,
they're gonna have to really keep that under wraps, I would assume.
mhm,
Like, oh, that's gonna be a nightmare if they're doing it on location too.
mhm. Well, I mean, if they film later this year, do you just kind of have to walk the cast out at D26 or Comic-Con
Well, I
before you start
guess
filming?
would it be do you release is there gonna be like a release of a Doomsday trailer at least? Or I mean by that time I would assume there'd be something
Yeah,
that's got out.
for sure. Doomsday trailer. I'm at Comic-Con. I expect they're going to release a new trailer for Doomsday. Probably already have had one out at that point, maybe two, honestly. And they'll have the directors. They'll have some of the bigger cast names, so like Chris Evans, RDJ, like some of the OG Avengers, I think, on stage.
It just for me it makes sense, or it feels like they would need before they start doing too much with the X-Men. There's got to be some.
Oh, for sure.
Some
Like,
knowns, right? Like you can't spoil what's happening in Doomsday and Secret Wars with some of these characters. So
yeah, but I think I'm not going to say everybody, but I think a lot of people understand that there is going to be recasting. Like Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are just too old to continue long term in that role in their roles.
sure. Yeah,
So,
I guess when it becomes a recasting, I mean it still
yeah.
kind of gives away things. I don't know. It just seems like it's a difficult task to try and
Yeah.
put something out such as big as the X-Men, but yet you're trying to keep things contained for these next two, possibly three large Avenger movies, right?
Hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, it's tricky because I want to say, like, well, would it overshadow Doomsday stuff if they announced people? I wonder if Comic-Con's all Doomsday and D23 is when they announce, like, hey, we're going to be filming, and let's say hi to some of the cast, some of the new team that's going to be coming out, the X-Men.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we don't know what role they play.
Yeah.
You could do it like that, but I mean, that's kind of fun speculation. It's kind of a
Hmm.
matching game, right?
Yeah,
Doesn't give
for sure.
give away the doesn't give away each character so much, but let's just chew on something. For God's
Hmm.
sakes, give us something to chew on so we can have podcast topics.
Yeah. Um, then this one came from the press release or kind of the synopsis of Spider-Man, Brand New Day, that it's taking place 4 years after the events of Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, I heard this. I read this, I guess, or
Hmm. So I think people are saying that puts it about 2028. I forget what year.
yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. It's in the ballpark. Is I think the you just got to go with ballpark on this.
Yeah, 2024 is what they're saying, and ends in December 2024. So yeah, 2028, 2020, early 2029.
So, which I was kind of just thinking about this. Why have him like you saw he was going and doing some schooling, right? He was just studying,
Hmm.
but at the end of No Way Home,
Why have the time
Far
jump?
From Home, No Way Home, No Way.
No way
Why
home.
have the time jump? I think it's just progress of the character. Like,
I
and
well,
you don't need to have that schooling. Like we've seen
mhm.
him in school. So
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, you have to keep it in at least somewhat of alignment with the rest of the MCU timeline wise. So,
yeah. So what else happens throughout that time? We have when it kind of made, so all those figures that we saw in the clouds,
mhm.
is that why we're seeing so many villains
No,
at all? It wouldn't be, right? But
no,
I
because
mean, we
the
see the Scorpion.
right, but we see them, they're coming through, and then the rift closes, and they're all
Yeah.
sent back to their own universes. And for the most part, all of them are like all the villains we have are very street level, like more gang related villains versus some of the other ones we were seeing, like Rhino or stuff like that. So,
We assumed they went back to their universe and they didn't get through. I don't really think that
yeah,
they've come over. I guess that doesn't really make sense
yeah.
either, but
Well, and they set up Scorpion in, is it Homecoming or is it
yeah, I think
end
it was
credits?
Homecoming.
Yeah. Yeah, the end credits
Yeah.
scene of Homecoming. So
Yeah.
there's clearly a Mac Gargan in this universe. So,
Yeah. What else has kind of like gone by in the 4 years? I
I
guess
mean,
what
the
else?
biggest thing, like Brave New World and Thunderbolts, both have taken place in New York. Daredevil being back,
Right.
operating as a Daredevil again. Fisk as mayor.
Echo.
Echo. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I'm trying to kind of stick to the ones that are very New York
Right.
centered because I mean that's where he is.
Yeah. Either way, I think I felt okay with it when I heard
Hmm.
this. At first, I was like, whoa, that's a large jump. But then why not let this character kind of evolve, I guess, and mature
Hmm.
and hone in some of those skills and deal with people for numerous years as or without that Stark technology, and to really, I don't know. It's kind of like finding himself, even though he's lost
Yep.
himself.
Yeah. That's where I land on it too. There's not a ton of information that we really need about Spider-Man through that time.
DODC, guess more pursuit of people or evolving DODC. Maybe it's
Yeah.
bigger now. I mean, they have a huge prison facility,
Yep.
so
Yeah. I don't know that we'll see much DODC.
yeah, I don't know,
Uh,
but
Maybe later in the film, like if a Tombstone or Mr. Negative is brought in, captured, DODC could come to uh, help with that. But
or the
yeah,
Sydney, Sydney, yeah, Sadie, Sadie
Sadie
Sink,
Sink.
her character. There was,
Mhm.
with it, we've discussed whether she's
Yeah,
tied into something like that, but whatever.
yeah. I mean, there was even another rumor that I didn't put down about like potentially her controlling people in a fight, which, man, everything recently has been Jean Grey.
Yeah. I don't know. No comment, I guess, at this
Yep.
point.
That's where I'm at. Um, the one piece of news is Sony apparently has a couple of animated spider projects in the works. Spider-Gwen and Venom. Probably the most interesting thing about the Venom is that Tom Hardy is attached to the project, not necessarily as the voice of Venom or anything like that, but yeah, it's
Hmm. I've not heard that.
interesting. Yeah. Apparently, it's also shooting for an R rating as well.
Interesting. I Is he really attached to that character? He must be. Like he Oh,
I
why
wonder,
not take a piece of the pie, huh?
right. I wonder if it's just like, hey, you were this character for a long time, and you've kind of set some of the tone for the character. Why don't you, uh, why don't you take a stab at it and see?
Sure. And it's a little less having to try and work your way out of the a corner of having a I mean, it's not a new actor playing it, so it's just one
Yeah.
less thing to explain.
Yeah. Well, even if he doesn't play it, he probably has like a decent grasp of the character, and so could come in, give some advice, stuff like that, since it seemed like he was very hands-on with it.
Yeah.
But that's it for the news and rumors today, Greg.
Ooh, short and sweet, sort of.
Short and sweet,
Main
just like
topic.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
4-1
s-
and just a pile of candy.
yes. So, main topic is how I tackle a doomsday. And, well, there's a number of different ways I think you could go about this.
Do I have to rank
Eh,
these? Is that
No,
is that what-
you can just tell me if they're dumb or not, or how awesome I am at this. Up to you if you want to rank them. You certainly could say, like, oh, that's my favorite at the end.
I'll do the former versus the latter. Yeah.
All right. So in this first one, we jump in basically at the end of Thunderbolts,
This is dumb.
where
It's already dumb.
where the Fantastic Four ship is landing in Wakanda. That's when we see them meet Shuri, M'Baku, and Namor. And Ben asks to meet with Earth's leaders because it's not the full Fantastic Four, it's Ben, Herbie, and Franklin. Then we hop back in time to a scene at the end of the Fantastic Four, the one with Doom in it. And we see that there's more to this scene. He talks to Sue, and he basically is saying that I need Franklin. Franklin is going to be what can save us all. But of course, this is very much like what Galactus did. So Sue is like, no, we're not going to we're not going to do this. This is not something that is acceptable. We're not going to give up our child. And Doom sends Doombots to attack the Baxter building. That's when the rest of Fantastic Four show up. They barely beat back Doom and the Doombots. And then they basically get a threat from Doom that we're going, like, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be back. And they're like, can we stop Doom. And he also brings up and kind of talks about the idea of incursions and how there's this multiverse out there. So, the Fantastic Four, as a way to basically stop Doom as he is threatening the lands, they decide to peace out of the universe. He's brought up the topic of other universes, incursions, things like that. They peace out and they go to the X-Men universe. Unfortunately, Doom follows them, and we get Doom showing up and basically saying, "Hey, I'm going to wipe out this universe. I'm going to track you down. I am going to get you." And they've teamed up with the X-Men, so they decide, well, it is decided that Magneto and the X-Men are going to help face off against Doom. They face off against Doom. Magneto destroys New Jersey, and well, that part of the battle is successful. Doom still comes out victorious. New Jersey is no more, but Doom is victorious.
As it should be.
So, Monica then tells the Fantastic Four of the universe that she's from, that there's this other universe with a lot of heroes who can potentially help. And with that knowledge, with her connection, they are like, oh, this is our best plan. So they all plan to go, but Doom redoubles his attack, and the Fantastic Four have to stay behind, minus Ben and Herbie and Franklin, and they the those three basically go to Earth at that point. So back on Earth now,
Wait, wait,
everybody's
wait,
like,
wait. Time out, time out.
yeah,
So the whole Fantastic Four are with the X-Men. Doom follows them to the X-Men world
yeah,
and defeats all the X-Men.
most of them, yes, for sure.
But then the ones that are left, they are going to try and go now to
Earth 616.
Or yes, or 616.
Yeah. And but Doom attacks more, so it's only the three characters who I mentioned who make it through.
Okay.
But nobody's really sure who to believe. You have Shuri, M'Baku, Namor, Sam Wilson is there. Bucky has crashed the party, hearing about this, and then a second Earth appears in the sky. So this is where we get that incursion scene. Doom basically broadcasts from that Earth a threat and a promise that he will keep destroying universes until the Fantastic Four give up Franklin. But if they do, he will save this Earth. So basically, like, I'm going to continue my path of destruction unless I get what I want. But if you give me what I want, I'm no hard feeling. Um, they, of course, stand against him, but he is going to manage to get Franklin. And the last thing that we see in this movie, since we this is kind of our big battle scene here, is we see the incursion event and we see some heroes, not all the heroes, but some heroes basically disappear in this incursion.
Hmm. I like this. I like the I guess the setup, how Doom sets it up in a way.
Hmm.
It's a little different. It's good. It it does not go along with the theory that X-Men versus Avengers happens. So that's interesting. I was kind of that's
Yeah,
X-Men planet, or I guess universe Earth versus Avengers Earth. As cool as that battle would be. Um, it's still it still is good. I like it. I like what you did there in your version. Um, yeah, it
it's
it
very Fantastic Four and X-Men focused.
it is. So you're missing the Doom part of about it. You don't get
Well,
to.
not so
I
much
mean,
the Doom. Doom shows up there, but we don't have the Avengers in it so much.
well, then you don't get a lot of what Doom's all about.
Hmm.
Or like you don't kind of have that introduction to Doom and to I'm kind of expecting like a character driven movie where we learn a lot about Doom since it is called Doomsday, but
Hmm.
I mean that's just kind of where my head's at, and that was somebody else's theory came up and I was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like we're just going to get to know Doom a lot here and then get to know plus watch his plan unfold a little bit, right? So,
Hmm.
okay. All right. Not bad.
Yes. So the next one, the interesting thing is it's Doomsday, but it's also Avengers Doomsday. So I
Hmm.
don't know which one I really lean towards super heavily. Like how much is going to be Doom, like super Doom focused, how much of it is going to be X-Men focused
I would say,
or Avengers or
yeah.
everything else.
But the battle between Doom and the X-Men would be pretty awesome
Hmm.
if you got to see
So
if you got to see all that in your
yeah.
version. So,
So the second version here, the movie opens up with an attack on the X-Mansion in the X-Men universe. We see some dead X-Men, and we expect to see Sentinels, but instead it's Doom bots. Doctor Doom goes after the X-Men, faces off against Magneto. Well, Monica tries to lead the other X-Men to escape into a different dimension. She obviously has some idea okay, the between the Bengals and her powers, like you can kind of weaken the boundaries between universes.
wait, did she have the Bengals?
No, she doesn't have the Bengals, but she knows kind of the theory about
Okay.
it. Yeah, she's smart. Um, so Magneto is the one who really faces off against Doom. He destroys New Jersey because that's the rumor, and it's also the bit. So we got to keep it going.
It's the anchor city.
Mhm. But Doom defeats him, but not before the X-Men can escape. They escape under the idea that they want to get to Earth 616. However, they don't get to Earth 616. They get to the Fantastic Four's universe. There, they find out that Doom has tried to kidnap Franklin, though he first kind of asked, like, he needs Franklin for something. I'm kind of sticking with that theory that he needs Franklin to some extent. But he tells him that he's going to kidnap him. Monica, again, tells Reed about Earth 616, the heroes who can help. And Reed's like, well, you know how to get across universes, but your power isn't really focused. You're just doing a little bit of that hopping that we see America Chavez do. It's just kind of scattershot. But I think I can build something that allows you to focus on that location and get them into Earth 616. He builds a machine that's in their spaceship. They head off. They get to Earth 616. Landing in Wakanda, they meet up with Shuri, M'Baku, and Namor, and they reveal that there are anomalies happening around the Earth, but then a big anomaly occurs when a second Earth shows up in the sky. This one's the X-Men universe, where Doom is still there, and he's now coming after Franklin. Earth's heroes rally together against Doom. Um, there's in- there's an intervention in this battle that they were going to lose by Loki. Loki sees what's happening and messes with the universes, basically sending Doom back to his proper timeline.
Mm.
Reed works together with some of Earth's heroes to create a machine that lets them look into other universes and look for Doctor Doom. But they find out that Doctor Doom has already kind of built a machine like that as well. And what Doom is looking for is these kind of anomalous children, the Steve's child, Love, and Franklin, who really shouldn't exist. And he's already captured and kidnapped Sue and Reed's child from another universe, Valeria. Using them, kind of the anomalous children being pulled across different timelines, he is able to pinpoint where Loki is sitting at the in the TVA, and he creates a plan and he goes to attack the TVA. We see several different heroes who Loki and Mobius have recruited, but they can't stop him from getting to Loki. Then, using Loki's powers, he snatches Franklin out of the timeline. Everyone in shock, but there's something else still to be worried about. And this is kind of kicking off Secret Wars, done in two parts with a time runs out storyline.
I'm letting this one marinate a little bit in my brain.
Sounds good.
This one's a little bit more complex. I'm not sure about the, I guess building something to push. Okay, so why
So they
they
don't
get,
build anything to push Doom. It's Loki who yeets Doom basically back to his proper
oh, right,
universe.
right. Okay.
And that's when Doom becomes aware of Loki.
Hmm. Okay. There's a lot to unpack here.
hmm I still don't do Avengers versus X-Men
Right.
in this, which I I'm not sure how much of that we're actually going to get.
I think more than just a battle scene. Like, like I like pitted against each other. I do really like that. Maybe that's why I mentioned it earlier because maybe I'm favoring that idea of
hmm
you have a X-Men universe and a Avengers kind of universe and you it's kind of whoever wins gets to survive kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me. So maybe that's why I lean towards that. But um
Yeah, I think it's certainly interesting. I just don't know about playing it out here. This, again, like you're talking about, if this is supposed to be fairly Doom focused
mhm.
or Doom heavy, that's a lot of story to try and fit in.
Yeah, that's true.
What did you think of tying in the children, this one?
So he goes and he collects them, right? You're still saying that
hmm
that is something
He's
that he
collecting them basically because it helps him, he can use them to kind of triangulate the point of where these anomalies were allowed to have happened.
so kind of figuring out where they came from.
Right. And
But doesn't he
that,
have to get them from the place that they came from?
right, yes, but they don't really truly come from especially like Steve's child, doesn't really, isn't supposed to exist in that universe. Like that should be an anomaly that is causing a branch to kind of grow out of control, smacking into other branches, causing incursions, that sort of thing. So why isn't it? And so he's picking out events where people came into existence that shouldn't have in the natural flow of the timeline.
I'm not okay. But you still got to get the kids and collect
Right.
them.
Right. But he's able to travel across the multiverse.
So these are not the same kids from the exact same, like it's not, are you saying it's not St the Steve Rogers kid like we see
No,
in the trailer?
it is the Steve Rogers kid we see in the trailer. That kid isn't supposed to exist. It only exists because Steve made the decision to stay back in time. Steve had already passed by that point of time. So that kid is an anomaly, something that shouldn't have happened.
Right. So, but if Doom is collecting these kids
Yes.
to try and isn't he trying to like figure out where they're from for to figure out the anomalies? But all since he's pinpointed where the kids are at, he knows then where the anomalies are.
He knows where the anomalies are. He's using the kids to pinpoint what's keeping the anomalies from spiraling out of control. He's using the kids to pinpoint Loki. He's not pinpointing
Hmm.
the anomalous kids. He's pinpointing Loki. It's
Okay.
like once Loki reveals himself, it's like, okay, there's something bigger going on here. What is it?
Be,
How?
be, okay, because they're an anomaly and things are not going completely haywire, that leads to Doom thinking there's a bigger thing at play here. There's a
Right.
bigger puppeteer,
Right.
and that puppeteer is Loki. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So it ties
Interesting.
in Loki a bit more, ties in the kids a bit more.
But where are the champions? Just kidding. That's a joke. Um, okay.
But
That's
where's New
interesting.
Jersey?
But
It's
where
gone.
check.
Yeah.
Check that box. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's any other questions I have. What X-Men are you envisioning in these two first scenarios? That you say in the first one you said that a couple survive.
hmm
Which ones are you feeling that would hang in
Probably
there?
Cyclops, Gambit, Mystique,
Okay.
maybe Xavier. But like the idea would be, especially in this second one here, where a number of them don't survive, it's more you're just seeing dead characters who are recognizable as X-Men characters
Mm. Okay.
versus super specific.
Okay.
Ready for the third one?
I'm ready. Yeah, I think I'm good on that one. I gotta keep these separate in my brain so I can, because I'm gonna rank them. I think I'm gonna try. I can keep them straight. All right, what do you got for number three?
Okay, we kick off the movie with the Sentinels attacking Xavier's school for gifted children. Jean Grey dies, and being an anchor being for that universe, it could also be Charles Xavier dies. The universe begins to crumble. It puts it on a collision course with Earth 616. No one realizes what is happening when a second Earth appears in the sky. So the X-Men and Avengers both assume that the other is at fault. This gets your Avengers versus
Mm,
X-Men.
okay, I'm liking this.
Meanwhile, in the Fantastic Four's universe, Doom explains to the Fantastic Four the problem that is occurring where there are too many universes out there. Well, the number used to be controlled somehow, the TVA. Something has changed. With Franklin's powers, Doom thinks he could find a way to protect the Fantastic Four's Earth, but it requires a few other things. This includes stealing a celestial body from Earth 616 and Monica Rambeau from the X-Men universe. Reed goes and looks into what is happening in those universes and realizes that Doom is the one who created the Sentinels and set the two universes on a collision course. By that point, though, Doom has kidnapped Franklin, and they realize he wasn't telling them the whole truth, and he disappears.
Okay, pause.
Yes.
So,
And might be
Doom.
Monica. I think actually I should change that to Cerebro
So he's saying the Celestial, Monica,
or Cerebro.
or
Probably Cerebro.
Cerebro. Tell me what those are, what the purpose of those are
We'll get to
for,
that. But we
oh,
don't know yet in plot.
but he is trying to
He's figured out
Doom.
yeah, has figured out a use for them and Franklin.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we go back to Earth one. So the Fantastic Four go to Earth 616, where there's a war that started between the X-Men and the New Avengers. So not the Avengers, but the Thunderbolts team.
Yeah.
They try and stop it the best they can and get help from Sam Wilson and the Avengers to do so, but not before Sentry has been forced onto the field and Doom manipulates Sentry into destroying the X-Men's Earth. So we're saved for
Okay.
a little bit. Reed, the Avengers, New Avengers, Wakandans, and X-Men come to an uneasy truce as they try and figure out what Doom needs everything for. Turns out that he is using those things, the celestial body, basically with the adamantium to amplify the signal of Cerebro to allow him to search for the TVA. Then, using Franklin's powers, he can force his way into the TVA. The heroes have to go find Thor and have him join their side because Loki's at the TVA and Loki might see or have more of a connection to Thor. So they're trying to get a message to Loki of pay attention to this timeline, see what's going on, understand that Doom is coming. He goes off to call out to Loki. Well, he's gone. Love is stolen from him. In another universe, Steve is living his life and enjoying it with Peggy. Doom comes knocking and asks him what he would do to save his child. Steve would basically say, I'd do the right thing. Doom says that at this moment in another universe, there's a group that's coming to take his child, but that he, Doom, can help Steve protect him. Steve goes to suit up again to pull the Captain America suit out of the mothballs. While he's doing that, Doom steals his child. The heroes come through to Steve's universe because they've found a way to track Doom. Basically, they figured out a way, Reed's figured out a way to track him. Steve vows that he to help when he sees the Earth 616 appear in the sky of his world. So basically now we have another incursion going on. Then we see Doom using the anomalous children to open up a passageway to Loki. And Doom uses the powers of the children basically to subdue Loki. And Doom tells Loki that they can create a new world, one where everyone can be saved. Meanwhile, everybody, including Steve, goes back to Earth 616, and they need to find a way to stop the incursion from happening. At that moment, that's when Doctor Strange shows up and says that he might have an idea. And the movie ends.
And scene. Sorry.
Yes.
I like that it's a plot to get to Loki, I
Hmm.
think. I think I like that because ultimately if he gets to Loki, he's got maybe the power that he needs, especially with collecting these kids.
Hmm.
Because he's the kids are for the basically to get to Loki, to get to that.
And to manipulate Loki because like
Yeah.
love has the power they could kind of soothe Loki's emotions and maybe make him a little bit blinded to things. So,
Yeah. Um, right. I still can't figure out what Steve's kid's all about though. Like
mhm.
is he just a bruiser? Like he just kicks ass? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a big question that I don't didn't try and answer.
yeah, is he like the Soul Stone? I don't know. Um, but yeah, I think that's cool. I'm gonna say number three
Hmm.
might be my favorite. I think I'm just kind of like I was trying to put myself kind of in my chair, right, at the theaters, kind of I'm along for the ride of the story, and I like that we're going to different places. And there's some twists. You got some Doom trickery. You've got an abundance of characters,
Hmm.
and
It's the one
uh,
that gives all the characters the most time to shine, for sure.
yeah. There was some characters that I thought about though that were missing. But um yeah, no, that was probably my favorite, I think. It's it's a, it gives me what I'm looking for as far as a ride in a movie. So,
Hmm.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
Give me like what else I want to talk more about it, but there's a lot of parts in there and I'm trying to remember them all. And as you know, I've been sitting in a house full of carbon monoxide, so I'm a little sleepy. That's not true.
Yeah.
I'm fine. But
I mean, I think it has that nice kickoff moment of the Sentinels attacking, New Jersey getting destroyed, like this big kind of X-Men kickoff to the movie that people would really like.
I don't want it to be Doombot, so I will say I want Sentinels. So was this the one that had Sentinels
This was the
versus
one that had Sentinels versus
okay.
Doombots.
Okay. So I'm glad this has the Sentinels. That's kind of a must for me.
Yeah, I would prefer Sentinels. I do think that it's one of those areas you potentially could hide what's actually uh, going on and it'd be like, well, it's actually Doombots, though it looks like Sentinel.
Hmm. Fair. Yeah.
And
Um,
yeah, there's so little to go off of the four trailers that are
yeah.
out. This one I think also has the best connection to the Thor trailer out of any of them, but
Yeah, that is true because I
it's
think I was kind of thinking about that when you were talking about the second one. I was like, where's Thor in all this? So,
mhm. But the Thor trailer is just so simple
yeah.
that it's hard to extrapolate much from it.
I think I I think that love is sick. I liked that theory, and he's got to save her because she's tied to the universe and she's dying along with the universe. And so his goal is to save the universe or his universe because if he doesn't, he not loses his the Earth and everybody that he knows on that on Earth, but he loses his daughter.
Hmm.
So she's more sick and ill due to what's happening, which I liked that
Hmm.
angle, I
Like
guess.
she's such a cosmic being.
Yeah.
that she feels it when any universe dies.
Yeah.
Like she's suffering because the universe is are falling apart.
Right. Because in the one scene, he's bedside. And it seems like also the way he states his when he's in his spiel, I guess, he's got to return to her is what the way
Hmm.
I take it. But bedside, she just possibly could look ill.
Hmm.
Could take it that way. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I tend to be with you. Like third one was the one that I wrote last, and I think I pulled some of the ideas from the other two together, but really gave it that Avengers versus X-Men kickoff to the film
Mhm.
before making it fair. It's so tough to know how much Doom there's going to be in this film, and
Yeah.
like because it's Avengers Doomsday, but Doomsday also just could mean the end of the universe. So, like
Yeah.
we know
Right.
Doctor Doom's going to be in there, but is he going to be the biggest player?
I noticed he didn't have anything on Latveria. Like, mm, it feels like Latvia's got to have some, and maybe that's just a given. Like, that's where he's from, right? We kind of know that that is a given, but like, they mentioned it in Fantastic Four, and it seems like it was intentional.
Hmm.
So,
I
um,
certainly, I think that you could, in the Fantastic Four part, it's talked about how he is the ruler of Latveria. I think there's things like when we see what he's doing with the Celestial and Cerebro to try and track down Loki, that could be taking place in Latveria.
I also
But
noticed there's no talk of Scarlet Witch.
there's no talk of Scarlet Witch in any of these theories.
Although, to be fair, you do cover quite a few characters in quite a few places. So, I'm being pretty nitpicky when I say that.
Yeah, and honestly, yeah, sure. I think there's a possibility where Doom we we kick it off with Doom having snagged the Scarlet Witch out of Mount Wundagore before she gets crushed. That's a
Mm.
possibility. I don't like that idea as well as any of these other ones, just because I think if you're going to do something with the Scarlet Witch, it should continue to build off of what we've had with WandaVision and Agatha and what we're going to be getting in Vision Quest. And that seems like it needs to have more of that family element to it versus just bringing her back here.
I like, I do like the kind of idea of Doom using her for dream walking
Hmm.
in a way. That is one way I feel like
Yeah, that.
things, things could kind of work, but otherwise, I do agree. Like, it's more of a family-oriented situation, right?
Hmm.
That fits better for Wanda. But if you're needing to put her in there, that dream walking thing is kind of interesting because
Yeah.
it does it almost is a gateway for him to use to do
Hmm.
something. I don't know. I haven't plotted the rest of that out, but
Right. Well, he could be the dream walking could be how he is looking for these anomalous situations that should have caused ends of universes to
right. So
understand why they didn't.
if there's a Tony Stark or a Victor Von Doom or whoever inside of Steve's universe and inside of the Fantastic Four and inside of these other
Hmm.
places, could he be using her to dreamwalk into those
Yeah.
versions, right,
Hmm.
of him, his character, or
Yeah.
what looks to be his character, in order to find and get those kids? So
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't
Lots
know.
of different ideas.
Yeah.
I I wouldn't be surprised if there's little things that I get right in there.
Hmm.
Like the idea of Cerebro and the Celestial. I think both of those really do make great sense as targets for Doom to go after.
I think Cerebro, I don't know what you take. I still haven't quite figured out what Cerebro is. It
Like
just
the
the helmet?
helmet, yeah, the helmet and the system that it's hooked up to, and then he's going to put that into the hollowed out empty head of the Celestial, and that becomes the new dome that he uses to look kind of across
Sure.
everything, but he does it across the universe versus, yeah, just Earth.
Yeah. Definitely have a little to go on at this point. So
Hmm.
I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah. It's fun. Let us know your thoughts. Which one do you prefer? Is there some, I don't know, idea that you think is going to be really key to Doomsday that we didn't cover? Let us know that down in the comment section over on the YouTube video for this podcast episode. We really do appreciate it for everybody who has checked out the podcast. Greg gave a few ways to support the podcast at the beginning,
I
and
did.
we really appreciate everybody who has. We will be back again next week. Topic to be determined. But with that, see you next time.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.